我係宅女啊，I stay home all day, so it's a Sunday， 星期日嚟嘅。It's a great day outside， 都好好天。But I just don't want to move， 但係我完全唔想喐啦。I work on my Spanish， 但係我有溫書嘅，溫西班牙文啦。And then I wrote a tiny little bit， 我寫咗少嘢啦。And then I watch a bit of TV series， 睇咗少少劇啦，煲咗少少劇啦。I will continue to do so 轉頭會繼續煲劇啦。Yeah, I'm just kind of lazy today。咁今日就係懶西日咯，係啦。So anyway, let's get reading。咁我哋就開始讀書啦。Read to Resist Day 275。當閱讀也是抗爭，第275日。A Concise History of Hong Kong by John Carroll。香港簡史，從殖民地至特別行政區，著者高馬可，譯者林立偉。Chinese industry and banks. Thanks to World War I and developments of the mainland, Chinese businessmen played an increasingly large role in Hong Kong's modern economy during this period. The war had diverted European business from Asia, allowing smaller Chinese firms to move in, while the chaos after the 1911 revolution in China brought an influx of wealthy Chinese entrepreneurs, especially during the general instability of the early 1920s, when Sun Yat-sen's Kuomintang Nationalist Party in Canton was receiving help from Soviet advisors. Chinese came from Guangdong in large numbers yearly until the Japan invasion in 1941. The rising social and economic status of Hong Kong's Chinese population was reflected in the number of Chinese moving to residential areas previously dominated by Europeans and in growth of the Chinese department stores, restaurants and tea houses. 華資工業與銀行。由於第一次世界大戰和中國大陸的發展，華商在這時期的香港現代經濟中扮演的角色越來越重要。這場戰爭令歐洲商貿撤離亞洲，較少的華資公司因而能夠乘虛而入。而辛亥革命後，中國局勢混亂，尤其是在1920年代初，孫中山所領導的廣州國民政府接受蘇聯顧問幫助，全國處於多事之秋，令富有華人企業家大量湧入香港。來自廣東的華人每年蜂擁而至的情況，一直維持到1941年日本侵略香港。大量華人遷入從前以歐籍人為主的住宅區，華資百貨公司、餐廳和茶樓數目增加，都反映了香港華人的社會和經濟地位上升。Most scholars have assumed that Hong Kong's industrialization did not take off until the late 1940s, when entrepreneurs came from China to escape civil war and communist rule. In the late 1970s, however, scholar Frank Li-Meng argued that Hong Kong's industry did not arise transformed within a year or two in the late 40s, but was already geared to transformation before the Second World War, on the basis of an industrial inheritance of expertise in labor and capital going back for a century. Whereas colonial reports as late as the 1940s consistently underestimated the number of Chinese-owned factories in Hong Kong, reports by Chinese business groups show that Hong Kong's Chinese industry was much larger and more modernized. The idea of Hong Kong having little industry persisted in colonial government publications until the 1960s, by which time Hong Kong had become well known for its industry. 大多數學者認為，要到1940年代末，中國大陸的企業家為逃避內戰和共產黨統治來到香港。那時香港的工業化才起飛，但在1970年代末，學者弗蘭克·利明 （Frank Li-Meng） 指出，香港工業的轉型並非發生在40年代末1-2年間，而是早在第二次世界大戰前已為轉型準備就緒。而其基礎是此前100年內在勞工技術和資金方面的工業傳承。到了1940年代，殖民地政府的報告仍一如以往低估香港華資工廠的數目， 但華商組織的報告顯示，香港華資工業的規模遠較政府報告所說的偉大和現代化。到了1960年代，香港以義工業聞名於世，但在1960年代之前，殖民地政府的刊物一直稱香港的工業規模很小。So this is the reading of today. 咁我哋今日就係讀呢一小段啦 ，and talk a little bit about like the industry of Hong Kong, how it was supposed to be much more developed than the colonial government has reported. 咁就提到即係其實好奇怪，即係英政府當年即係點樣去講香港嘅工業發展，似乎咧唔係好願意承認咧，我哋係即係比起佢所記載嘅發達。咁可能就係因為即係當時仲係好想就係覺得係啲外國人、歐洲人令香港發達啦，咁就唔想提係啲華資嘅即係商人或者工廠係即係發展得好好咁樣樣。So I guess this is kind of like part of the colonialization as well. It's just like colonial government wouldn't want to admit that like Chinese or Hong Kongers were actually doing much better than they have reported because they want the world to think that this place is developing so well because of the colonial government, not because of the native or local people. 咁當然即係殖民者就一定係希望大家覺得就係殖民者令到呢個地方好，而唔係本地人自己做得好啦，即係咁樣。So there's a lot of problems about that, but there's also like when you read about this history， 但係當你一路讀嘅時候咧，要 find that Hong Kong is really a lucky place。咁你會發現香港係真係好好彩，好好彩，好好彩。Until we were hand over back to China， 直至主權移交啦就係。So it's kind of like interesting now because like I'm always trying to explain the situation in Hong Kong to other people。咁因為我就經常即係而家成日都會去嘗試解釋咗香港嘅情況啦咁樣樣。So it's kind of funny as well, it's like learning this new language。咁因為而家譬如好似學外語，即係學緊西班牙文啦咁。I'm only like in the beginning like learning something basic. I mean like we say that we are in the intermediate class, but I still feel that I'm still kind of like basic。咁雖然我而家已經係中班啦，但係即係我都仲覺得自己好基礎啦。But I'm always， 但係我係成日經常 talk about like this really kind of like difficult topics on politics and history of Hong Kong and China。咁但係我就已經成日用緊我僅有嘅西班牙文去講關於香港嘅歷史啊、中國啊、關係啊咁樣樣。And then I realized one thing， 咁我就覺得係乜嘢咧？都係嗰句啦，好老土嘅，即係 it's kind of old-fashioned but it's true。It's like when there is a will, there is a way。就係如果你好想去講嗰樣嘢，你就會講到啊。No matter how little vocabulary you have， 唔理你即係有幾少嘅生字啦 ，no matter how broken your language is， 唔好理你講到有幾咁一嚿嚿啦咁樣。But like when you really want to communicate， 如果你真係想溝通嘅話 ，then you are able to do so， 你係會講得到嘅 ，and people understand me， 其他人係真係會聽得明我講乜嘢啊咁。So like through all this practice， 咁就不停喺度練習點樣去講香港嘅故事，點樣説好香港故事咧。And then I am like also improving my Spanish as well。咁我就一路我嘅西班牙文都有進步啦。咁樣 then I'm adding a little bit more vocabulary every week。咁樣每一個禮拜都加啲新嘅生字啦，咁樣樣。So I think I've said before like this week I feel very strongly that I'm at the bottleneck。咁我覺得我而家去到一個樽頸位啦 ，because I'm trying to like break through this new level， 因為要突破呢個基礎啦，即係我想進階啲啦咁樣樣。And then like my listening is still not satisfying to myself at least。咁我嘅聆聽依然係渣嘅，我覺得，即係我唔係好滿意我嘅聆聽嘅能力啦咁。And then like in return it also kind of affect my pronunciation as well。咁亦都會影響我發音啦，即係咬字嗰個，即係個發音唔係好正確啦。有時成日都仲喺度研究緊點樣會發音好啲啦咁。So yeah, so over the weekend still trying to listen to more podcasts, YouTube lessons, just like and then also like try to chat with other people。咁所以放假就即係多數都係即係會聽翻多啲西班牙文啲 podcast 啊，睇 YouTube 啊，即係 然後即係喺街同人傾多啲偈啊咁。But right now because I'm going to boxing class， 咁因為而家我去打拳啦，咁 so like there are people then I can like also practice my listening。咁嗰度有真人同我傾偈啦，啲教練啊，啲同學啊咁樣，咁我哋可以繼續練習啦咁。So hopefully like social life would also help me advance my Spanish。咁希望我嘅社交生活可以幫助我西班牙文快啲進步啦咁。This Airbnb is not available next week。咁下個禮拜咧呢間 Airbnb 咧就會即係租咗出去㗎啦咁樣啦。So I have to move on Tuesday。咁所以星期二我就要搬去另一個 Airbnb 啦咁。It's kind of like a few blocks away 嘅幾條街咁上下遠啦咁樣。So yeah，and so you will see a new background next week。咁所以星期二你就會係啦，星期二或者星期三你會見到個新嘅背景㗎啦咁樣。And I'll show you again my new house。咁我就會繼續同大家係啦開門即係睇下我哋間新嘅 Airbnb 係點樣樣。咁今日嚟到呢度啦。So this is it for today，and I'll see you again tomorrow。聽日再見，拜拜。